Scott Tucker here, Expedition Earth. We are in the midst of the journey of a lifetime. We're on the Osa Peninsula, deep, deep inside the rainforests of Costa Rica. Most folks don't go here because it's off the beaten path. But once you see the complete variety of wildlife here, you're gonna probably want to come. As a young child, I remember my daughter, and of course now my son, Race, they love to take to the trees. They love to climb trees. And let's face it, most kids do. This is not a Tucker phenomenon. When you start to take a good look at the similarities between humans and species like these spider monkeys, the connection is obvious. Folks, this is absolutely crazy. We're about 2 minutes away from our villa in the middle of the rainforest of Costa Rica. The trees are alive with
Howler monkeys.
howlers and
Spider monkeys.
howlers and spider monkeys everywhere. Check this out.
Oh, there's a baby one. There's a baby one.
What's absolutely berserk is that we are primates, as these spider monkeys and these howler monkeys. We're living in the same habitat. It's just something you don't see in the lower 48. You gotta go to Costa Rica. You gotta get out onto the Osa Peninsula to live with other primates. Take a look. What do we got here?
These are bean pods that the spider monkeys were eating. Sweet, kinda.
It's got a sweetness to it. Thanks to the generosity of this amazing father-son team, Corey and Tosh of Tropic Fins, Race, Chuck, and I got a chance to head out on Golfo Dulce, armed with rods and reels in search of some of the most spectacular fish species in Costa Rica.
I don't think this is sardines.
Within minutes, we catch a glimpse of this amazing bait ball up ahead. It's as if it's pouring rain.
Oh, look at all.
As it turns out, these fish are a type of herring, similar to what we have back in New England. They are known as the field mice of the oceans, providing a valuable food source to so many of the larger fish that end up on our dinner plate.
All right.
Oh.
These little dots down here and here.
The law in Costa Rica is you have to use a circle hook with bait. And these are designed so that when a fish swallows the hook, it doesn't get caught in the stomach. Where it gets hooked is when the fish is swimming away, it hooks in the corner of the mouth. That way it's easier to release the fish.
Okay,
So they don't be dragged, you just hook them right through the nose.
right on the top. Okay, fantastic. What attracted us to these guys
was that they pride themselves on protecting the fishery, not just bringing home the big ones at any expense. They are careful to avoid pulling gravid females out of the ecosystem. And equally as important, they use specialized gear that won't injure the fish in case they need to send it back to the sea. Take a look at this gorgeous triggerfish. Most fishing charters would just kill it and send it back overboard, but not these guys. Everything they don't eat, and it's native to Golfo Dulce, goes back to where it came from.
Nuts. Good luck, buddy.
Ooh, he's fast. He's pretty fast.
We're on our way to do a whole different mission. Things got sidetracked.
Once again, we've got to give credit to where it is due. Ava spied these guys on the front yard. We had taken a siesta. All of a sudden, I heard the screams, "Get out here!" It's howler monkeys this time. Completely unexpected. We thought we would only see spiders this close.
These guys are dislodging branches and they're crashing down on them.
Like so many other primates, the mantled howler monkey has evolved an effective way to protect its gene pool. Before reaching sexual maturity, members of either gender are kicked out of the troop and forced to breed elsewhere. This totally strengthens up the chances of survival. The gene pool remains diverse.
If you're just joining us, Expedition Earth with Race August, Tucker, Chuck, Anicelli, and I. Ava actually came out before us. We've got howler monkeys, which we did not know would be here, are right in front of our lodge at Tres Palmas, Osa Peninsula. This is insane.
The mantled howler monkey is one of the few primates that has adapted to a diet of leaves. And while this does have its advantages, like producing tremendous amounts of consistent food all year long, there is a downside. You see, leaves, even though they're loaded with valuable nutrients, vitamins and minerals and roughage, they lack in protein and fat, so valuable to many of the other mammals on the planet, like us. And as a result, these guys are prone to being sluggish and generally low energy, sleeping most of the day away, high in the trees, safe from predators. Costa Rica is packed with so many microclimates, it's hard to comprehend. Just take the Pacific Ocean and sandwich it up against a rainforest, and it's a wildlife magnet.
They're on the tippy top.
Then out of nowhere, crimson-fronted parakeets come cruising in, right above our villa. This is insane. Nothing attracts wildlife more than a bountiful selection of food. This place is loaded with exotic fruits.
At some point during this trip, it dawned on me that we human beings are so busy studying foreign languages like French and Spanish when right before our very eyes, there is a language spoken by the birds. The avian dinosaurs that survived the KT boundary, that moved on past their extinction of all their cousins. Birds are speaking a language. We don't even know what they're saying. Listen to them. Imagine what we could learn if you could speak bird.
Moments later, I turn around and there is a toucan sitting in the trees. This is absolutely insane. This is an iconic bird I've seen on Fruit Loop boxes and really never imagined I could ever see it in the wild.
So what we just saw was a black mandibled toucan. The way you can tell it's a black mandibled toucan, the top of the beak is yellow and the bottom of the beak is brown.
Just for the record, this may be a chestnut mandible toucan as opposed to a black mandible toucan. Too tough to call. But have a listen to this, male and female vocalizing with each other. Perched high on a mountainside, carved into the rainforest, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Feels like you've been lost into a dream. And then, instantly, it's like a jolt of electricity. You've been walking beneath a giant wasp nest all week.
Look at this gigantic nest right up here. No idea what it is. A species of wasp or bee. From this vantage point, you can't quite tell what they're doing. But when you zoom in, you can see that they're cooling down the nest. They're waving their wings at a rapid rate of speed to cool it down, to protect the young inside the nest.
And take a look up top, upper right-hand corner, the entry point, as well as an exhaust vent for excess heat. Talk about dedication. Everybody working in concert to save the young. And then, completely out of nowhere, flies in this yellow-headed caracara, sharing the same tree. Eyes peeled in search of an easy meal. Even this dead tree is critical to the development and balance of this ecosystem.
Toucans are still vocalizing.
There's toucans over there.
They're still vocalizing.
Listen up to these vocalizations.
You just got a foreign language lesson in toucan. 4 toucan came cruising right through here, just around 4 p.m., like they've done the previous 3 nights. Male, female, hooked up in some elaborate little courtship.
This may seem hard to believe, but at this point, ornithologists do not even understand exactly why the toucan has evolved such an enormous bill. Could be for sexual display, to attract a mate, Could be to defend itself, could be to extract fruits. Nothing's been confirmed. We've got a lot to learn. I have no right to even think that this is going to work. It's like planning to capture a miracle. To put it all in perspective, I've loaded the van with our entire crew and trekked through some of the worst roads in Central America, all with the hope of catching a 1 in a million chance to witness what some people would call the rarest event in the animal kingdom. Behemoth marine reptiles, gigantic sea turtles lumbering ashore to deposit their eggs on the very beach they once were born, in some cases 50, even 80 years ago.
We're standing at the foot of a turtle hatchery, a program that's been created by people here in Costa Rica that actually really care about these creatures. Unfortunately, these eggs are a delicacy for most cultures, including here. It's illegal to take them, but people do. They still eat them. So, turtle comes up, lays the eggs, they mark the spot, they grab the eggs, they put them inside this, right down in there, right inside there. 6 to 8 weeks later, boom, grab the eggs as they're hatching out, bring them into the water so they don't get picked off by birds.
Yeah. And then when the adults return to lay their eggs.
Just a couple hundred yards away from that turtle hatchery lies this magical lagoon. We've got reports that there's caiman and crocodiles in here, so we got a sharp eye out.
One croc in the distance, but he was gone in a jiffy. Chuck went out ahead to look further, but we're in a lagoon by Karate. Again, very close to the southern tip of the Osa Peninsula. Beautiful. I think it's a loggerhead. I just caught a glimpse of it for just moments. It's a beautiful turtle. She looks like she had already dug, but I could not tell if she was laying. She might be laying already. Loggerhead. Excelente. Excelente.
What? It's a loggerhead.
At this point, she is in a trance. She doesn't even realize we're here. So we're gonna get a closer look at the eggs. After some careful research, we realize this is not a loggerhead after all. It's an olive ridley. And like all sea turtles, she is critically endangered throughout the globe.
Closer, Eva, closer. Get the red light closer. Sweep the body. That's
As she lays her last couple of eggs, we prepare for what has got to be one of the most amazing adaptations in the animal kingdom.
Is this as big as they can get, or can they get bigger? Wow.
Good question, Race. This is an adult female. This is about as big as they ever get. Ava Tucker here with Expedition Earth. Like many other species of sea turtle, the olive ridleys will lay about 100 eggs per clutch each year, and if she's lucky, only about 1 or 2 of these ping-pong ball-sized eggs will develop into an adult one day. And unlike us Homo sapiens, she never had a chance at an epidural to deaden the excruciating pain of giving birth. And no Pitocin available either, another drug we have devised to induce labor after we humans miss the due date. It's all completely natural. Then, in an instant, she uses her flipper-shaped back legs to bury the eggs and simultaneously packs down the sand by rocking her 100-pound body back and forth on top of the clutch. At this point, she's exhausted with her fight against the invisible force we call gravity. And what's difficult to understand is this is a marine reptile. It spends 99.9% of its entire life in and under the surface of water, only now, for about 1 single hour in the span of an entire year, does she leave the sea to lay her eggs.
This way. She's compressing the egg, so if a predator or a human would ever step on that spot, those eggs will never be broken.
Take a good look at her eyes, pouring with tears designed to prevent sand from encrusting them and blinding her. It's another critical adaptation that enables her to maintain good vision so she can make her way back to the sea once it's over.
The olive ridley, as well as many of the other sea turtles that exist on the planet, are at critically low levels of population. This is a look into the prehistoric past, a time when dinosaurs roamed the planet. The Osa Peninsula, Costa Rica. This is Expedition Earth. Stick with us. Before we take you any deeper into this spectacular encounter with an endangered female olive ridley, as she's depositing her eggs in the dead of night, we gotta give you a better handle on where we are. The Osa Peninsula and its explosion of wildlife diversity is squeezed into a bottleneck between 2 giant continents, South America and North America. And as a result, it's become an ecological splendor. As opposed to what we in New England have grown accustomed to, say a 4-month period of relative warmth, the Osa is hot, hot, hot all year long. Couple this with the fact it sits so close to the equator, tripling the chances for everything alive to feed, breed, and grow into a non-stop, year-round free-for-all. Millions of years of evolution are accelerated into this pinch point as all terrestrial life is forced to cross this land bridge between the Americas. And as if that's not enough, to make it even so much more special, the Osa Peninsula is surrounded by 3 nutrient-rich bodies of water: Golfo Dulce to the north and east, and the mighty Pacific, flanked to the west. When you add it all up, the Osa Peninsula stands alone as a jewel unlike any other on the planet. Expedition Earth, stick with us. Now that you have a better idea as to where we are, take a look at this as she completes the process.
Ella hace ese movimiento para confusión. Confusión, nadie sabe dónde están los huevos. Entonces ella lo que hace es confundir. Hace un nido grande, movimientos para confundir.
What Marvin is trying to explain to us, challenged Spanish speakers, is that after putting forth the exhausting effort to deposit her eggs, now she's got to muster up the energy needed to spray sand all about the nesting site in hopes to erase any evidence of the clutch. Remember, this has been happening for thousands of years. Predators like coatis and even domesticated dogs know this is happening, so they start combing the beaches each night. And to make matters worse, even jaguar start to patrol the beaches.
There's a lot of predators. They have to get in and get out.
Oh, she's turning the wrong way.
She's completed the false dig, so not a single predator is going to know where those eggs were. Now she's headed back to the water. We're going to follow her right in. Absolutely brilliant. She got up above the high tide line. Even though there's no moon out right now, she knew where to go. She's probably got, what, 25, 30 yards?
And then she goes again.
It was amazing.
That was cool.
As we savor these final moments of this life-changing encounter with an Olive Ridley, I am humbled once again by the Osa Peninsula, out the edges of Costa Rica. On behalf of the entire crew, this is Scott Tucker with Expedition Earth signing off. Thanks for joining us. See you back next time.